Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Zondex Weekday Late Show here live on Facebook and, of course, also live on YouTube. And if you're watching the replay, I'm so glad you're here as well. So very cool that you are here. Now, let's put on the sound, right? That right there. Make sure your sound is on, right? Everything okay? Yeah. All right. We can hear each other. Cool. So it's very cool. Thank you so much for being here again. It's what day is it? It's Wednesday. And I wanted to share with you today this little story that I encountered a couple of months ago. What the lessons that I've learned when I decided to ban sugar from my life. What happened? What did it do? I mean, sugar is in everything, right? Even if you have some pasta sauce, there's sugar in it, which makes sense, of course. I mean, if you're gonna make your own pasta sauce, right? You're gonna crush the tomatoes and you're gonna put in basil and you're gonna put all the other herbs and a little bit salt, maybe, and of course, some couple of spoons of sugar. Yeah. No, I'm not sure if that's in the recipe of your Italian grandmother, right? But it is in the sauces that you buy. So it's in such pretty much everything, everything that's processed, everything that's been bought in a plastic bag or a can or things like that. Most things contain sugar, and there are many, many, many names of sugar. I mean, just to give you a little bit of a chemical lesson here, sugar is exactly two components, which is fructose and it's glucose. And if you put those molecules together, you get sucrose, which is sugar, the regular sugar, right? And sugar is can be built from anything, right? It's can be distilled from the beets. It can be distilled from even corn and corn syrup. It's what's there? Honey, of course. There's so many natural sources that create sugar. But in the end, it's all glucose plus fructose equals sucrose, right? In one way or the other. And the way it's processed is the way it's getting, presented to you in a kind of a bottle where it says, this is not all natural by bees, or it's distilled from natural beets. I mean, doesn't matter. Sugar is natural. So all sugars are natural, actually. All the sugars, right? Fructose plus glucose. Now, there are also a lot of like sweet alternatives, the sweeteners, right? And there are many out there. I mean, if you Google alternative name for sugar, you'll get a list that's like crazy long. So that's for sure. And it's in everything, either as fructose plus glucose equals sucrose, or as some sweetener, or, it doesn't matter. Even stevia, which is one of the most natural sources of sweeteners. And, the thing is with sugar that your body reacts on sugar, right? Your blood sugar rises because your body, takes out the glucose and needs insulin for that. So there's an insulin reaction, not an insulting, but there's an insulin reaction to sugar, to the glucose, actually. And stevia is one of the rare sources that's not peaking your glucose as much as sucrose does. So many of the healthy gurus, right, they tell you if you want to use any types of sweeteners, use stevia. But the problem is, if you buy a bottle of stevia sweetener, there's going to be only 0.1% of real stevia in it. The other part are still the regular sweeteners. So even if you buy sweeteners with stevia or based on stevia plant, most of it is still the chemical created in a laboratory, created factory built sweetener, which isn't good for you. So what I decided is to really ditch all the sugars out of my diet, right? And in that case, all the added sugars. So like the sweet taste of sugar in my coffee or my cappuccino. I love my cappuccino with some sugar. So I ditched that. I don't eat any sugar anymore, or sugar-based foods, right? Like ice cream and things like that, or soda drinks or things like that. And I'm really paying attention to all the things that contain also the natural sugars. And sugar is itself not that bad. I mean, it's something our body can use as an energy source, right? Of course, that's the glucose talking there. Um, and combined with fiber, it actually can, be processed pretty well. So if you use, for example, like fructose is a natural a source from sweetness from fruits. So, for example, in oranges there is fructose. Now, fructose has this benefit or not benefit, disadvantage that it cannot be processed by your system as energy. So it's getting stored in your liver and that gets transferred into fat. So the most fructose is being used as storage for your fat reserves. And that's fine if you have, if you can have some, but for many of us, like most of us, it isn't. So using only fructose isn't a very good idea, as also not as a sweetener. It's purely putting your body into creating fat. But in combination with fiber, it does different things. So when you're eating an apple, or if you're eating an orange, there is some sugar in it, like there is some fructose in there, but it gets combined with the fiber, and that takes actually the whole metabolism of the fructose down a notch. So if you eat an orange, totally fine, right? That's not like you're getting addicted and getting a sugar rush. While if you have orange juice, that's a different story, because in a glass of orange juice, in a regular bottle or glass, you can even tap them these days in the supermarket. At least in the Netherlands, you can, like this big machine, you have all these oranges in there, and you can create your own fresh pressed orange juice. Well, the problem with that is that the only thing that's getting into the bottle, because there's this safety, right? This thing where it catches all the blah 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 blah. It just lets all the fluids go down, and that is actually fructose with no fiber. So without the fiber, so you're getting actually a very tasteful bottle of water with fructose and the taste of an orange, right? And yeah, but there's vitamin C in orange juice. Yeah, a little bit it is. Yeah, indeed. But it's better to just eat an orange, because how many oranges does it take to fill up a bottle like this, right? This is, how much is it? 50 centiliters, so half a liter. So how many oranges does it take to get a half a liter of orange juice? That's maybe 5 or 6, right? How many oranges do you eat all the time? Not 5 or 6, right? After 1, maybe 2, you're pretty much done with the orange. So there are a lot of misconceptions out there where we think we're being healthy, but we're still getting a lot of sugar in our system using fresh orange juice, for example, like that. But also in bread, there's literally added sugar to bread, because you need to caramelize the outer side of the crust, right? So it gets this nice crusty feel. And if you add sugar to it, that makes it better looking. So there's so many sugar in so many things. Even in prepared meat, there is sugar. I mean, do the test. Go to your supermarket tomorrow and check it out yourself. With all the products that you regularly buy, where you don't even think about it that there should be sugar in it, 9 out of 10 products will have sugar in it. And that's something that I realized, and that's something that I banned from my life. So what did it do to me? What happened in my body and what happened in my mind, actually, because that's an important one as well. Well, the biggest lesson that I've learned is that I was addicted to sugar. Yes, I was literally an addict for sugar. If I would get bored, or if I would not have any distraction by, for example, working or doing stuff you like, but just sitting somewhere or reading a book or watching TV or whatever, I was craving for food, and sweet food, right? I wanted to have ice cream, or I wanted to have some nice tasting crackers with cheese, or whatever it was, or maybe even some salad with it, or potato chips. I mean, those kind of things that really triggered me from I want to eat something, not because I'm hungry, but just because I like the taste of it, right? That's pretty much what happened. And so I started researching this, and it actually has been shown in different studies that the effects of sugar actually triggers a hormone inside of your brain, which has the same amount of effect when you use cocaine, um, and it has the same addiction level as such a drug, which is crazy. But it's understandable then that it's in everything, because if you feel it within your food products, right? And you know that it's addictive and people like it, because who doesn't like sugar, right? Or who doesn't like the taste of sweet? That we're hardwired to like that. It comes down to the fact that you get there, and you buy it again. So once I stopped eating it, it was hard the first couple of days, right? I was walking in the supermarket, passing the bread and the nice pastries and the cookies and things like that. And I was like, oh, I want to buy one. But why? No, I know it's not healthy, right? We all know that cookies aren't healthy, but they taste so good. So why not, right? Just for this once, or maybe next time you're there, take some ice cream because you're whatever reason you think. And so the first couple of days was really hard. But after a couple of days, I actually, or maybe like say a week or 10 days, it went away. The need for those types of food. And I can now literally be there, watch it, and think, nah, I'm not going for it. Well, that was really impossible, right? About a year ago. And of course, that did a lot of good to me, because all these sugars that came into my system, my body, it couldn't be processed as energy. It's not. That's just not how it happens, right? Especially if you're having an office job like me, right? I'm sitting behind a computer all day, behind computer screens, doing work sitting down, right? I don't have an active profession where I walk around all day or move a lot or build structures or buildings or things like that. So the amount of burning calories, the energy amount that I need, is by far not the amount that I got in using the source of sugar. And that really triggered me in a lot of things. So because of not my calorie intake so much went down, but the amount of energy produced by glucose, right, the energy source which peaks your blood sugar level, it went down, and it didn't had those peaks again where it find me craving after a while when it's done, or being tired after dinner or lunch. It totally went away. My energy level like became like a flat line. It's like regular, right, with no peaks or highs or lows. It's just the amount that I need. And because I didn't use so much of those sugars, it didn't get stored as fat anymore. Actually, I started burning the fat. And that was like the biggest discovery that I had, that just by not eating sugar alone, by that helped me so much in creating the difference between, like, say, a couple of years ago. I'll show you a picture again. The left one is from 2017 and the right one from 2020, right? Like a couple of weeks ago. That's the difference you get from not eating sugar. And yes, I did a couple of other things well that helped me as well, right? I talked about that before in other episodes. I did a ketogenic diet, which is also low in carbohydrates. It's higher in fat and it's medium in protein. I did do intermittent fasting, which helps me burning the fat. I do a little bit of exercising that helps a little bit. But the majority of the lifestyle change that I did has been done by not eating sugar, and that's the result that it gave me. So and I'm feeling far more regular energized. And I got a confession to make, because it was about, I guess now around 2 weeks ago or something like that. I was alone on a Saturday evening and I did my grocery shoppings, and I thought, what the heck? I'll just take some ice cream. So I brought some ice cream home, and I love ice cream. Ice cream is really my what do you call that? Not well, it's really something I'd like to eat because I love the taste of the different types of sugar, and or not the sugar, but the taste of ice cream itself. And for that matter, I love Haagen Dazs. I love what's it called? Berry. I don't know. I don't even know the name of the brand, right? Berries, Jim and Berries. I don't know. Well, you know what I mean, right? The good ones, the real good ones, and I love the taste of it. All the different tastes they have, and I know it's bad, right? I know it's not good for my body. It's poisoning my body in ways. But I thought, what the heck? I hadn't had ice cream for so long, so I just went for it. So I ate the ice cream, and man, was I sorry for that. My whole system like went crazy. I had cramps. I felt nauseous. I felt, out of balance like that. I felt like my brain was foggy again, and I really felt bad about it. Not I didn't feel bad about it, but I just felt bad. My body just didn't feel good as it felt the other days before and after a while, right? So yeah, you can cheat once or twice or a couple of times or whenever you like. But my experience now is that after been doing that for a couple of times in the past couple of months, let's say almost a year, or let's say 8 months that I've been ditching the sugar. Since I've been doing it, and I did cheat, I didn't feel that well afterwards. And you know, it's like probably the first time you get a shot of Coke, you probably feel weird and crazy. And I don't know, I've never tried it, but I can imagine if you smoke for the first time, you get nauseous as well, right? If you drink the first time, you'll be drunk by just looking at alcohol. So your body is not reacting well to the things that's poisoning it. And yet we are so addicted to some of these things, right? And I have my guilty pleasures. That's the word I was looking for. Ice cream is my guilty pleasure. Um, but yeah, I must admit that having this experience now and knowing how I feel after eating that, does it really pay the price, right? Is the balance well? Is the return on the investment as good as I thought it was? Like, oh, the taste is like great, and you eat it and you feel good, and this hormone of endorphins or serotonin, what is it that's being shot into your brain? Like, I'm feeling happy and I'm feeling comfortable and cozy and things like that. Um, but afterwards, man, I didn't feel so well. So I decided to just keep ditching the sugars for my diet, right? And that is the biggest lesson that I've learned, that it is so much better feeling for your system. You're so much more stable in your energy. Like I said, there are so many benefits in not eating sugar. And if you're paying attention to it, there's a lot of things that now I know where there's sugar in. And of course, if I have something to eat and I want to have some ketchup with it, I'm not gonna be on a sugar rush because I ate some ketchup. It's just that while there is sugar in ketchup, but it's just knowing that that's in there and that I need to, minimize it, and for the better, don't eat it at all. But if you do for now and then have a glass of orange juice, it's not going to kill you, right? But if you keep drinking it every day in your smoothie because you think it's healthy, it's not. There's so much sugar in it. A granola bar, right? Especially the ones from my friends at what's that place called? What's the name again? The coffee house, Starbucks, right? Oh man, those granola bars they have, man, they were good, right? They're great, and they're healthy because they're granola bars, so they're healthy snacks. Well, no, there's like 80% sugar in it, so it's not particularly healthy. And there's so many more like these energy drinks and even sport drinks, right? There's so many sport drinks out there like Gatorade and things like that. Nesquik for your children's, the healthy chocolate milk in the morning, right? It's all sugars out there. The morning cereals you eat, they're like 80%, 90% sugar. You're eating actually sweet milk, right? That's what you're eating. So be aware, mind what you're eating, and you'll feel a difference. Give it 2 weeks. Let's do a challenge here. Give it 2 weeks and check in how you feel, and then start eating sugar again and check then how you feel. You'll feel a difference then within minutes, hours, whatever. Right? It's really noticeable. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys being here. I really appreciate you took the time to be here and hear my story of how I banned sugar for my life and the benefits it brought me. And I hope it will inspire you to do the same and get ourselves to a healthy state in these so difficult times. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening, watching, wherever you're watching from. Can be LinkedIn, can be Twitter, maybe even you're listening to the podcast. So cool you're here. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow again, because then we're here again with another episode of the Zondags Weekday Late Show Live.